The attachment of being identified with that one. And the supreme attaching oneself to the love that's generated in separation. Love in separation. Very, very high. Parama. Para means supreme. Viraha. Viraha means in separation. Love in separation. So there's various ways that we can understand love in separation. They say that one reason why love in separation is parama, the highest form of bhakti, is because of the longing. The longing of not consummating the love. You see? The longing is a higher form of love than the love of consummation. You see? The wanting it, the desire. So the desire itself is the most powerful form of the love, of really, really wanting to be with the beloved. Here's another way. We talked about this, I think, the other night. The idea that without separation you could not feel the bliss. Right? Remember Ramakrishna? You'd rather taste sugar than be sugar. So the bliss of being near the beloved, near the divine, but not to identify, to merge with the divine, is a higher form of love, higher form of bliss. And by the way, love turns into bliss. Love is bliss, you could say. Compassion has as its highest form bliss. Compassion becomes bliss. In the sutra teachings, the open teachings of Buddhism, there's wisdom and there's method. The method in the lower teachings, in the sutra teaching, foundational, I shouldn't say lower, foundational teachings. The method is what? Compassion. And wisdom is the understanding of ultimate reality. In the higher teachings, the method is bliss. And the wisdom is the same. Wisdom doesn't change. Ultimate reality doesn't change. It's not like, we got into some new form of ultimate reality here for you. See? Ultimate reality is ultimate reality always. But the method changes from compassion to bliss. And that's not because they're two different things. Bliss is the ultimate evolution of compassion. And that's kind of cool to think about. For all kinds of reasons. Bliss is the ultimate evolution of compassion. For one thing, if you have perfected compassion, how do you feel? You have to feel blissful because you aren't you anymore. Right? Because the highest form of compassion is complete selflessness. Yes? You lose yourself in the compassion that you have for others. And that in and of itself brings you bliss. In the same kind of way that losing yourself in other activities brings you some form of happiness, right? When you lose yourself in a good movie, right? And 2 hours go by and you haven't thought about you see? That's a kind of happiness. That's a kind of bliss. When you lose yourself in sexual orgasm, right? You're not thinking about, I'm feeling so good now. See, that I goes. And you just, merge into the bliss, right? You lose yourself in it. So compassion is the way to lose yourself. And it cranks up to bliss. You can think about it that way. Here's another way to think about it. Why compassion has as its ultimate evolution bliss? Because compassion brings bliss. It is the cause of bliss. Your happiness comes from what? You see? From worrying about somebody else. Compassionately. So it is the cause, karmically, of happiness in the future. And it is itself a form of bliss. Because it's a form of selflessness. And bliss involves the abandonment of the attachment to self. You got it? Yeah, you're getting the whole download. And the supreme attachment to the love that's generated in separation. So here's another taste sugar rather than be sugar, right? Here's yet another one, okay? When you are enlightened, will you merge into some grand oneness? See? Or will you maintain some form of separation? Love in separation. See, when you're enlightened, won't you have love in separation? Who are you going to help? See, You see, you got to be separate from the beings that you're helping as a Buddha, right? You have to be separate from them. There has to be some kind of differentiation between Buddha and beings Buddha is helping. And that's, by the way, in case you were wondering, that's what Buddhas do. Buddhists don't just sit around, sucking their thumbs in, some kind of cosmic wonderland, They're active. Why? They're active helping those that are different from them, that they're projecting, you could say, as different from them. Why? Because it's bliss. What is? Helping others. Compassion. And Buddhahood is bliss. Buddhahood is bliss. So, of course, they're going to be helping others all the time, because that's the source of bliss. And that requires what? Separation. Separation. While understanding simultaneously what? That it's all just a projection coming from you. See? All just deceptive reality. But the deceptive reality that Buddhas are projecting is in some ways just like the deceptive reality that we're projecting. Which means there's a projection of a difference between subject and object. Subject and object. There's me and there's somebody I can help. Separation. Right? Love and separation. The teachers of the Dhamma, he goes through what they call parampara. Parampara. He goes through the lineage here. The teachers of devotion, Kumara, Vyasa, Shuka, Sanjala, etc., unanimously teach this same sort of thing, he says. And then he says at the end, undeterred by the chatter of the mobs. Undeterred by what other people, what the mobs think is the case, you see. And again, it's kind of like, it kind of reverberates with the Gita, with the verses in the Gita. Keep it secret. This is not for public consumption, because the public doesn't believe in this, basically. This is 12th century. The public in the 12th century didn't believe this. In India. What do you think in 21st century America? All right. Someone who believes, and he says, someone who believes and has confidence. Shraddhate. Shraddha means confidence or faith, right? And this is just a verbal form of it. Someone who has confidence in this auspicious doctrine, Shiva, Anushasana. That's what Shiva means, is auspicious. They call Shiva, the auspicious one, in the hopes that he'll be auspicious. Because he could kick your ass. You're trying to appease him a little bit, like, auspicious one. Don't start dancing, please. When Shiva starts dancing, you usually head for the hills, like, get into the shelter. Not that it's going to do any good. Shiva Anushasana, doctrine, right? Taught by Narada. Someone who believes and has confidence in this auspicious doctrine taught by Narada becomes filled with devotion. Bhaktimat. Bhaktiman means completely filled with devotion. Someone like that reaches the most beloved. And then he says it again. Prishtam labhata. Sa prishtam labhate. Sa prishtam labhate. Really reaches. Really get there. Okay?